Watch your daughter around these men. A lot of these men will date you just to get to your kids. Because these men are disrespectful. They'll walk around the house in their boxes knowing you got a 15-year-old daughter. Walk around with his shirt off. And then women, make sure your daughter dress up around these men. Don't let your daughter wear tight clothes around these men. Because these men ain't stable. They ain't right in the head. You think that man with you just because he love you. That man watching your daughter. He be watching her until she little and grown up. And if your daughter tell you, Mama, he been looking at me. Mama, he tried to touch me. You need to do something about it before it's too late. These men fall in love with you, marry you, and the whole time he wanted your daughter. So he played the game as a husband, as a father figure, just to get close enough to move in on your child. Watch who you bring in your house, because every smiling face can be a devil, and he gonna ruin your household.
Hey, y'all. So this is going to be quick. Stop protecting the predators in your family. Stop doing that shit. That's it. That's all. Stop protecting the predators in your family. I come from a family that did that. And it's so disgusting and it's disturbing on so many levels. Stop protecting them. I love it.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. This is your host, Nava. I wanted to come on here and talk about this post that has been going somewhat viral, but if you haven't seen it, this is a post between a man and his girlfriend's 10-year-old daughter. He has been in her life since she was 5, and you can even see at the top of the text that it says daddy on her phone. So she sees him as a dad. And the mom was just completely shocked. That is why I keep making these videos, because women are just not like paying attention, are not aware of the mentality of a lot of these men that they bring around their kids. A lot of these men get with women who have young kids for the sole purpose of assaulting those kids. They're not even thinking about the woman. They have a sick desire to be with babies. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I am going to get into some of these videos and I will be back after this.
And anytime a girl say that a man twice her age is flirting with her, trying to talk to her, or saying inappropriate things to her, call the police and check him right then and there. Shout out to this mama, because so many moms overlook this. Now, I don't know if I'm too deep off in TikTok street, so y'all on the same street as me, but a teenager went to her mom and told her mom that her boyfriend, the mom boyfriend, had been just acting weird towards her and treating her weird ever since she started to grow up. So the mom went through the phone, and sure enough, he's talking to this baby like she's grown. He asked her the most inappropriate things ever. Have you had oral? Do you know what it feels like? Are you open to it? Now, I don't know why they kept texting this man back and forth, because once I went through the phone and seen what was up, I would have been calling the police, or I would have been on my way to beat him. Because don't ask my daughter, do she know what oral feels like, and me and you go together. And a little girl like, oh, ask my mama, you making me uncomfortable. Like, it was a little too much texting back and forth for me. But I'm so happy that they really, like, called the police and aired him out, because you've been in that girl's life since she was 5 years old. Like, men be weird, and it's making me not want to date till I'm grown. I mean, my kid's grown.
And to that fuck-ass individual that so-called himself to be a man, that literally was trying to coerce this 10-year-old baby in these text messages, you were literally having lewd and lavishing conversations with a 10-year-old, and the baby was completely confused. The baby said, I don't even like boys. And you still tried to say something else. And then when the mama confronted you, right? When the mama confronted you, you said the baby was lying after the mama seen the text messages. Thank God you went through her telephone, mama. Thank God you were the parent to go through the phone, because ain't no telling how many people missed those steps by not going through them goddamn churn phone. I'm talking about being all the way in their business. And you know what? I'm trying to figure out why you even still free. A nigga need to be digging you up. You don't even need to go to jail. You need to be somewhere else. Because guess what? You are ridiculous. Like, you been thinking about this. You got a picture of you and the baby, and the whole time you was lusting over a fucking 10-year-old. People like that need to be studied, because that shit is not fucking normal. What can a baby or a child do for you? You already messing with a mama, so you know what it is to be with an adult, and you want a 10-year-old child? Like, it couldn't be in my family. Couldn't be in my city, because guess what? They've been found him somewhere stinking. Y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. But you know what? You weird. I know y'all done seen it on the book face, and oh my God, that just made me even madder when I seen the text message of him saying the baby was lying. You caught the baby a lie when the text message proved that it was a one-sided conversation. Weirdo. You need to be studied, sir. Studied.
Some of these headlines just make me lose faith in humanity, because this is crazy. Detroit cop accused of illicit text to 6th grade stepdaughter. This is the Detroit cop, Earl Anderson. He is the 37-year-old cop that has been texting this girl out here. Yes, I'll blurt out her face because there's no need to put this little girl out there in the public. But I'm about to show you all the weird, crazy texts that this freaking freaky frog boy is sending to this little girl. So from the beginning of some of these texts, you can see that he's trying to be like a cool stepdad, you know what I mean? So he goes and talks to her about a dance that she's attending, which is a Valentine's dance. He says, "You got a date?" She says, "Nope, I'm going with my friends." "Cool, you could be real with me. I don't care if you curse or be yourself. I won't tell your people. I'm gonna treat you like you're grown. You're mature enough. How you feel about that?" A little strange. Then it all takes a turn for the worse. Here's the first part of the text. Pause the screen because I'm not gonna read this. Here's the second part. The mother goes on social media explaining the situation after the cop's family said that the little girl was lying. Pause the screen to read the rest of this because I don't think TikTok is gonna allow me to read some of the words that she's saying in here. It's just sad to me, man. This man is supposed to be a servant to the public. He's supposed to protect and serve the people around him. And what he did allegedly to this little girl is just foul, man. Put this man underneath the jail.
Ladies, I truly feel like this is why men have like a deep resentment and hatred for women. Because we birth everybody. We birth them, we birth girls, we birth nations. And we will sacrifice ourselves, our children, our family, and everybody around us for a man. I really truly believe that's why they blame everything on us. Because we are the ones who have the power to give birth. They don't have that. It's our responsibility to stop giving birth so recklessly. Stop giving our wombs so recklessly. I posted a video yesterday with the doctor saying that she would save her husband before she would save her child. And even the man in the video was like dumbfounded by that. He was like, because people expect for women to have like a protective nature over their kids. But since we've been so brainwashed and lied to, a lot of women have no like sense of protection or no, it's like women don't even have agency. Like, it's like their minds have just been taken over by what they've been told by religion and patriarchy. And it's just like, protect the man at all costs. And that's what we're seeing women do when they're allowing this stuff to happen to their kids. I'm glad that the mother in this original video was upset about it, but it's like there was signs. Women are not paying attention. Women are not being observant. There are always signs. And there are tons of women who have been SA'd as children and as adults and as teens who have got on there and given women tips and signs that you can look for in your kids that they're being messed with. It's just too much information out here for us to keep ignoring it and thinking somebody is jealous of your man. A lot of women think that their daughters want their men. That could be the case in some situations, but overall, these babies are not like coming on to these men like that.
Narcissistic men love to use their young teenage daughters or adult daughters as side chicks. He has groomed his daughter to be his side chick, and she doesn't even know it. Poor baby is oblivious that her entire childhood she has been trained to make other women jealous at the hands of her father. And a lot of these fathers do molest their daughters and turn them into lesbians. Either way, if the girl is straight or not, her father will use her as a pawn to stalk, harass, and bully other women. He will also use his daughter to make other women jealous. So if you're ever dating a man and he continues to throw his adult daughter in your face, he is triangulating you against her and her against you. And if his daughter is also a narcissist, she will enjoy torturing and bullying you. He also will use his daughter to bully her mother, especially if the baby mother has moved on. His daughter is his accomplice.
See the video of that man telling his girlfriend that her daughter has 3 days to leave? He just like, y'all both got the same shape. You know what I like. You know how I am. She gotta go before she break us up. What exactly are you saying? Are you saying that you want to sleep with her daughter? I don't know how long they've been together, but if you're with the woman and you looking at her kids, regardless of how old they are, that is creepy. He tried to make it about her sneaking boys into the house and the fact that he can't walk around his house the way that he wants, but that man wants to sleep with that girl. He like, y'all got the same shape. You know what I like. If she don't leave, she gonna be the reason that we break up. Basically saying like, I'm going to sleep with your daughter. That's basically what I heard. The mom was sitting there, I don't know if it just went over her head or what, but she was just sitting there a little too calm for me. Like, what do you mean? What are you saying, y'all?
That man don't want you. He wants your kids. Some of y'all women think that man love you. He taking care of you. He treating you right. That man would do anything to get close to your kids. Some of these men going down your profile, looking at how many kids you got. You got a daughter, got a son, got a little baby. You would be so in love with that man, you won't believe your kids no more. He'll have you turn against your own kids. Your daughter can say, Mommy, touch me. The first thing you say is, you don't want me to have nobody. Your son can say, Mama, he looking at me the wrong way. You just want me to be with your daddy. I don't want your dad no more. I got me a good man. So get out my face. You don't want me to be happy. Nobody want me to be happy. Why you think some of these kids are running away from home? And then we say these kids are hard-headed. They don't respect the mama that don't protect them. They don't respect the mama that believe a stranger over them. How in the hell you gonna believe somebody over your own kids, the one you birthed in this world? You better fix your mind before you lose everything you got.
If this runs across your For You page and you are a mother, especially a young mother, and I just feel like there's so many layers to this that I don't even really know the best way to say this so we can make sure it gets through to somebody. Anybody. Okay? Because this is very, very, very important. I feel like this is a problem within the culture of women and raising young women. I don't know where this shit started at. I don't know how we got here to the point where women, and a lot of times I feel like it just depends on how you were raised. But women have prioritized being in a relationship and having a man so much, or looking for this love so much, that they are willing to sacrifice their children's well-being, mental state, relationship with your child for men. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to. That's why God created us, to coexist and multiply and be fruitful, but not to the point of desperation. Not to the point of desperation. And there's so many women that I don't know what it is. Everybody's story different, but y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop Y'all gotta stop. Like I just feel like once you become a mother, you have to date for you and your children. That's one. You have to date for, it's no longer just about you. Unfortunately, sorry. If you didn't want it to be like that, keep your legs closed or take the proper protocol it takes for you to not be in that situation because you want to do what you want to do. But once you become a mother, I feel like you're no longer dating for just you. And even though a lot of people are like, I know that, no, you don't. Because I'm not talking about surface level, you're not dating for just you. You have to really study people. But sometimes I feel like women get so emotionally high when they start liking someone that they do not see anything but the man. Your mind don't even go that far of what if this person is doing this, is this person capable? Because once you love somebody or like somebody, you automatically think that they can't. Well, they not. It's not true. It's not true. Y'all have to really be examining these men. Like, and I feel like it's such a thin line. And I know this sounds crazy. And why do we have to sexualize everything? But you do. Unfortunately, this is 2024. Life is crazy. People are crazy. Unfortunately, you do. We shouldn't have to. But life ain't perfect. For me, I feel like it's a thin line between, like, you know, you can meet a man and he's like super overly active with your kids. And like for me, men that like be so overly like quick trying to be stepdaddy and picking up the kids and come sit on my lap and I'll take the kids up. No, you won't. No, you won't. Like that's how you have to be as a mother. Even if he gets offended, because who gives a fuck if he's offended? And that's another thing. Like, don't be afraid to stand up for your child because you don't want to offend him. Who is him? Who is he? Who is he? Who is him? No. That already just, and then this is also for the men, like, and again, I know that that's not every man's case, and some of y'all really do be genuine, but the men who be so quick to like interact with people's kids and picking up people's kids and asking people's kids for a hug every time you see them, stop. Because when I have mine, don't ask mine for no hug every time you see him. Okay, you're doing so much. Pipe the fuck down. And I know it sounds cruel, but that's the time we live in. It's the world we live in. So you're going to adjust or you're going to not do it because you don't want to risk offending somebody, or you're going to protect your child. As a mother, it is your job and duty to protect your child. But y'all be so in love and head in the clouds as soon as y'all meet somebody you like, or as soon as the man is doing things that he's supposed to be doing or you like, you overlook the fact that he can be a pedophile. Most pedophiles, a lot of pedophiles date women based on the child that they want to prey on. But y'all not ready for that conversation.
Well, my thing is, I don't think that women were only put on this earth to multiply and to produce more predators. Y'all don't know how silly that sounds, to keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, and you're getting more and more and more men like this. I think women should stop multiplying for at least a decade until we can get the numbers down to where we can feel safe, to where the kids can be safe. There are thousands and thousands of thousands, millions and millions of women and kids and boys saying that they have been molested or SA'd by a man. I'm not saying that women don't do this, because I know women do this also. But if it was as much as males do it, we would hear about it. And I do believe this is men being in their lower nature, and I feel like their lower nature is pretty much demonic. I feel like it's just below the pits of hell demonic. So yeah, this is why I always say, like, I don't have very many friends, because most of the women that I know would allow this. They have the mentality of a woman that would allow this. And I just cannot be around a lot of women. I listen to them. I look at how they move, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't get down with you, because you are a danger to yourself. You're a danger to your kids. You're a danger to me. And I just stay solo dolo.
I hope the people that refuse to cut off their predator friends realize that your kids are going to be their next victims. Okay, there are plenty of people out there that have been assaulted by their mothers and fathers' friends for this very same reason, because people think that their behavior is just going to stop at a certain age. They're going to grow out of it. No. Their fantasies get more perverse. They get nastier and darker. And the age range gets lower and lower as they get older.
Am I the asshole for making my daughter leave because my husband is attracted to her? I, 55-year-old female, have been married to my husband and my daughter's stepdad, 63-year-old male, for 4 years. My 23-year-old daughter and I have a complicated relationship. She's been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. She has a lot of trauma from watching me and my husband's horrible marriage go down and was bullied in school. When she told me she was being bullied by peers, my view that all children are innocent really tied my hands because I told her that if I said anything to them, I would be an adult harassing a child. She has blamed me for that ever since and keeps referring to this one time where the kids at school called her trash due to the fact that she wasn't taking care of her hygiene due to depression. Part, not all, of my response was telling her to take a shower, and I bought her new clothes. The bullying finally ended with an expulsion and a suspension for the ringleaders. She still throws the fact that a school clinic volunteer told her that if she was their kid, she'd have permission to punch back if administrators didn't do anything. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds if my second husband and I modeled a healthy relationship. However, my daughter now doesn't get along with my husband. She's very introverted. She's a creative person who likes immersing herself in escapism. So she'd get annoyed if she was sitting alone and my husband would sit across from her and eat, saying she ate later so she could eat alone. However, my husband started acting distant from me and my daughter, complained that his eyes lingered for too long. She got very angry and there was a lot of shouting and slamming of doors. Finally, my husband admitted that he's attracted to her and it's hard to be around her all day. Said she was a walking temptation and said that's why he was avoiding sex with me. That's crazy. I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but at the same time, the situation has become unbearable. Something would have to give, and I couldn't collect my thoughts with both of them still being in the house. So I gave my daughter money to stay in an extended stay hotel and asked her to utilize her college's emergency financial and housing resources they have for students in need. She responded by storming out and telling my ex, who is now circling social media, using it to paint me as the villain of all villains. I'm not abandoning my daughter. She qualifies for those resources anyway since my ex is unemployed and we are in substantial debt. I just need time to process the situation and don't want to leave my house to stay with my daughter when I have a marriage to figure out whether or not to save. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole because your husband is the one that can't keep his eyes from wandering around your daughter, your flesh and blood. So you gonna send her away instead of him? You need to send him away. That's wild. And if you don't send him away, then you go stay at that resource place or, wherever you was trying to send her.
So that story was really sad, but this is not a one-off story. There are plenty of stories in the Black community that are very similar to this. And I just wanted to show this just so y'all can see the mentality of a lot of women in, the non-existent Black community. We don't really have a community because of stuff like this. This is the mentality that a lot of women have around men. Even when the women are in horrible, horrible relationships with these men, they will still put these men above their children and just leave their children out there to fend for themselves. And then everybody's looking at us like, what is wrong with these people? There's no guidance. There's no love. There's no protection overall. I'm not saying there's nobody in the Black community that doesn't guide their children or love their children, but for the most part, like in most of these hoods, and most Black people are living in hoods, I would say more so than not, this is what is going on, and this is the mentality, and this is what is destroying us as a people. Part of what is destroying us is the worship of men.
It's a lot of things that Black families don't talk about and don't even want to touch on. You know what I'm saying? As a 5-year-old child, I was being molested by my uncle, my mother's baby brother. Somebody I loved and I trusted, and somebody she loved and trusted to watch me every night while she going to work. You hear me? And then it's like, damn, you grow resentment to your parents because it's like you don't see a change in me. You don't see You don't see that I'm different. I'm not as outgoing. You don't see that I'm closed off now. I'm only 5 years old. I'm staying in my room. I don't want to play with my toys. I don't want to go outside and play with the dogs no more. Understand? Watch y'all children, bro. Like, from my heart, watch your babies. I don't give a fuck who that man is, my nigga. I don't care who he is or what part he play in your life. Not saying, like, judge your brothers or judge men in your family, but I'm saying just keep a close eye on your babies. Because what matters more? You know what I'm saying? That long-term damage that child gonna fucking deal with by being touched at a young age.
And young men like this will grow up to resent and hate women because I think they instinctively know that women are supposed to be protecting them, that women are the actual protectors, but women are not doing it because of the brainwashing. Women have been taught that these men are natural protectors, all while we are seeing that these men are out here doing this to these kids and to women and to each other. We're seeing more men doing this than women. So it's like our brains can't compute. Like, how can they be protectors when they are the ones who are running around doing this in every country globally? So women have to stop thinking that men are natural protectors. I'm not saying that there aren't any men that aren't protectors. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the mass majority of men are not natural protectors. We see it daily. We're online daily where we see women getting beat up in front of men, women being attacked, and men are standing around. We saw that woman just get dragged out of the little town hall meeting for Republicans, I guess. Like, strange men just dragged her out, and the men that were standing around just like clapped and cheered. Even the women, nobody helped her. Like, the women were speaking up, but nobody actually stepped in to help her. So we need to get it out of our mind that men are natural protectors, because a lot of the time these men know that their children are being harmed and hurt, and they won't do anything to the men who actually do it. And the women aren't doing anything either. So it's like we keep having all these kids and nobody's protecting them. Who's protecting them? It's like they're just sitting ducks for predators, and the mom's natural instincts to protect are just like gone, just not there at all.
It's not just adults that prey on children. It's other children too. I can't tell you guys how many times I was preyed upon by another child that was exposed to things they should have never been exposed to. Definitely, children prey on other kids, and that's how the cycle continues. That is exactly how the cycle continues. What is introduced to one child, they do to another child. That child then affects another child, and it keeps going on and on and on. All those times of playing house or playing cousin, like how we used to do, we were all victims because we were introduced to things we should have never been introduced to. Is it our faults? No, for the most part, because we had no idea the trauma that we experienced, and we had no idea that the trauma we were giving to another child. You definitely got to watch your child around other children. Just like men aren't just the only predators, women can be predators too. Children can be predators too.
So, ladies, I just think that women overall are supposed to have natural protective instincts when it comes to their kids, but I feel like the society that we are in has been manufactured in such a way that women have been taught through like religion and just the patriarchy and everything around us that a man is the prize, a man is the most important thing in life. Having a man, you're nothing without a man. If it's just we've been taught to just center men and push men up on a pedestal. Even all religions will tell you that man comes before your child, and women just take it like to a whole nother level, like to the extreme. Like, women, my man gets his plate before my child and myself. My man. Y'all know how women are. And it's just I cannot, it sickens me to my stomach to see it. So I would rather just be alone than to be around anybody that acts like this. And I feel like any woman who is against anything that we talked about in this video, you should feel, I would think that you would feel the same way. Like if you are truly against men doing this and women who encourage it and women who just worship men, like it's no way you could be in their vicinity. Like you would have to just cut them off. And if you know there are men in your family who have done this, you just have to cut them off. Like I had to cut my dad off at the end of last year because he's done this before. To his niece. Even though it was how long ago? Over 20 years ago. I just cut him off last year, like for good. Because he said something that let me know that he wasn't remorseful. I had never talked to him about it before, but it came up somehow, and something he said just made it click in me like, this man hasn't changed. Like, I believe he would probably do it again if he thought he would get away with it. And I had to make the decision to just cut him off. He had came by my house with my sister, my younger sister, knocking on the door because he wanted to take us out for lunch, and I just did not answer, and I haven't talked to him since. He came by my house unannounced because I wasn't answering his calls. But yeah, I probably should have did it years ago, but like I said, we hadn't talked about it. So I just, you know how something is kind of out of sight, out of mind. If you don't hear about it, you just don't really think about it because that's not something that people talk about all the time. I knew he had been locked up for it, but I never did question, did you really do it? Were you innocent? He got locked up when I was 16. So it just took me a while to come along, but we have to get to a point where we cut off everybody who encourages it, the women who know about it and still bring these people around on holidays. We have to cut them off. If this is going to end, we have to be dramatic. We have to really dramatic, like not birthing for the next 10 years to get the numbers down, like cutting off any family members who know about these men or these women in your family and still sit down and break bread with them. That's the only thing that's going to cause change around the world, and especially in the Black community. That's the only thing. You have to excommunicate these people. So that's all I have to say, ladies. Get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.